In string theory, world is considered to be made of strings and multiple universes. Every decision we make creates an alternate reality. In a way, this makes us immutable.
So today, as you know, we are going to talk about immutability, on-post strategies, and change detection in a reverse order. So let's start quickly right now. Hi everyone, this is Angular Coder. I am your host Gaurav. Today for change detection, on-post, and immutability. Let's start with change detection first. What is change detection in Angular? Basically, if there is change in value or anything in your state of system in Angular, the change should be reflected in the template file. That is called change detection. Now there are multiple ways which kind of changes can happen in your system. We can broadly divide it into certain categories. One of the category of change detection is simply an HTTP call. So you made an HTTP call, you received some data that caused change detection. Or basically you moved your mouse, you did some kind of input into your system and that will cause change detection. Then there is micro activities like you have kept something called as set interval or set timeout. Basically the things where you want to do asynchronous operation or you want to do some operations after a certain period of time, that will cause change detection. So there is one more promise which when it is resolved that can trigger change detection. Also Angular runs kind of monitor every few milliseconds to see if there is any more changes in the system which it has not noticed. That is also a way of change detection. With all that change detection, what is the motive? As I explained before, I will repeat it again. Change detection is to render the fresh and current information on the screen. Now as you see, as you might have noticed, there are so many changes going on. So how does our system understand when it is doing change detection? If you have large objects, very large objects, think about a object having 100 properties and then that 100 properties might have even 100 more properties inside it. Just think about that for a moment. If that kind of object is there and your UI is very complicated with lot of grid data and lot of information, and you're changing the values in that, changing values somewhere inside it, so in that case Angular need to compare all the values in all. Basically it will take start from the root and then it will go to all the properties and find all the changes, and then it will go to all the properties and find all the changes. As you can understand, this is a thing which can create a slow system. For that case, Angular doesn't do deep check. Angular generally does a shallow check in its system. So basically it will just check if the object is very big, if its reference is changed, that means change has happened. That is where immutability comes into place. Now what is immutability? Immutability is the thing which you saw kind of in the intro videos. Basically if you make any change in object or in an array, let's take an array. If you want to add an item into it, you create a new array. If you want to remove an item from it, you create a new array. If you make any kind of changes in object or array, it creates a new instance of that item altogether and the previous item's reference is removed. After some time, garbage collector will just remove that item from memory because it is not having any reference, so it is just waste of memory, so it will remove that from the memory itself. When you are using immutability, that will not cause any kind of memory leak or it will not cause lot of memory wastage because the garbage collector will remove whatever unused objects are there in the heap memory. So whenever you make any change, you create a new item altogether. This is also a base concept of dedux and reducer which is present in React. Then at the end we come to on push strategy. Let's see in code and try to understand how these things tie in together. I'll show you a piece of code where when we change anything in object, the changes are not reflected, and then we'll try to use immutability and try to see if that program works or not, and obviously this improves performance. So without wasting more time, let's get into code.
Okay guys, so right now in the screen you can see I have created an application and have changed some code to showcase quickly what change detection does and how there can be a bug in your system and you might not understand what is going on. So to do that, what I've done here is basically I have app component. So in this one, to showcase the important thing, you have an array of employees and then you are going to create cards out of them, and you have a child component where you are going to show some of the employee details. You have two buttons through which basically you are changing the value inside employee. Employee is a very simple structure which has just name and experience, that's it. So in component, if we go and see what has been done, is that we have created two employees and then we have two methods where we are increasing the experience and decreasing the experience. In this case, you have two buttons added where you will increase the experience and decrease the experience. Child component is also very simple. Child component, what I have done, let me first show the TS file. So I have two members as name and experience. Third one is an input which we are taking from parent component. So we are going to get employee from parent component. And whenever there is any change in employee, we are going to set our local name and experience. So to showcase both together, what I have done is I have created two rows. Basically, you can think about in PR is a line break in HTML. So I've created two rows. One thing will show indirect bond, that means in ng change whatever we have taken from employee, we are going to set that, and in direct bond we are going to use employee directly to showcase its name and experience. So as you know, this is also a public member, these three are public members, so we can directly use employee.name and employee.experience. You can think about that if you want to give certain grade based on experience, then you write here grade in this thing, which will be a string. And let me make some change and show you another use case also. Alright guys, so what I have done is I have added another property called grade, which we are going to derive from the experience level the person has. So you can have this kind of code in your Angular system or something like that, right? In that case, let's see what happens with our code and how does it our system performs. So let's go to our screen. You can see that right now there is 40 is shown as indirect bond, also is showing knowledgeable 40, and direct bond is also showing 40. Angular coder is 20 and the direct bond one also is 20. What happens if I press plus? This is weird. As you can see, our knowledge base didn't change. Our indirect bond is not working. What is happening here? If we go to sources and try to find ng on changes, we see that this is not getting called at all. Even if we decrease it or increase it, the indirect bond is not called at all. ng changes is not called at all. So how does change detection work is basically it finds the template files, and in template file it is going to see if any of the property which you have directly bonded in template has changed or not, right? In this case, in our app component, your employee you have bonded directly to employee, and that means the object employee. What you did when you increased or decreased the experience was that you changed a property of employee, not the employee itself. Angular does change detection based on the binding which has been done in template. It tries to understand from the template what it has to check for changes. Since you have bonded the complete employee object in the child component in the template file of app component, in that case Angular won't be able to understand if you have changed a sub property of employee. It will not call ng on changes on the child component. However, the employee object itself was changing. So in child component, when you wrote dot name and dot experience directly, in that case, even though ng on change is not called, change detection will be able to recognize that you have changed experience, because in template file you have directly used this property. If you have not used this property, if you have used something of an indirect in nature, of anything which is in indirect nature, then in that case Angular won't be able to find it. This is how change detection works. But there is even further important thing you should know. Now we are going to talk a little bit about on push strategy. So you can write on push strategy as in the component selector you can write something like change detection strategy dot on push. Now there is an important thing to remember here. Why would someone want to do on push? But before that, let me just show what happens when you do on push strategy. Now if I click on plus or minus, you see that nothing is changing. Not even the direct bond, not even the indirect bond. Nothing is changing when I click plus or minus experience. What is on push strategy? To know that, first you need to understand that why on push strategy was introduced. Right now we have a case where we have just a single parent component and a single child component and an object which has just two properties, and you have just bonded it here, name and experience. But if you think about bigger Angular applications where there are thousands of properties, millions of records, lot of array items, in that case if Angular has to go into each of these child components and try to find the bonded property and if it has changed or not, that can severely affect the performance of application. To improve performance, these guys came up with something called as on push. When you write on push, Angular is not going to check sub property of item of any kind of object until that object itself changes. That means basically this employee here, when we are writing employee.experience, we are changing the sub property of the employee. If we change employee itself, then on push will be able to recognize the change. Let us try that once. Let me show you with code instead of just talking about it. So I had this code written already. Basically takes out the index of current employee and then sets a new object. When we are writing this bracket thing, it is creating a new object altogether, and then in that I am setting the same name and in for experience I am increasing the experience and setting it as that property. So let's see what happens with this. I have just changed the experience level of this guy and then try to set it. So if I click on plus, you can see now both are changing, the indirect bond and direct bond. So using on push, you basically force your application to follow the immutability logic. What I have done here indirectly is called immutability. So when you wanted to change a property of an object, basically I created a complete new object instead. So there is, whenever there is a change in sub property, I created a new object. When you write on push, basically you force your design pattern or your application architecture to follow immutability pattern. Immutability pattern actually improves performance by a big margin, because Angular now doesn't have to do deep checks. By deep checks, what I mean is, as I was explaining earlier, since you have bonded employee and in component you are using its property, it has to find, if you have change experience, it has to find throughout all components where the change has happened, and that is called deep check. It is slow, it is not performant well enough. So instead of that, try using this concept of immutability. To show one more thing, how do you solve the problem of the bug which we saw without on push? Consider this, you don't want to change the parent component at all, right? Let's change it back to our normal code. How do you solve the problem of the values not getting changed in child component? Let us try to do that once. So with this, now you can see So with this you can see that what we have done is we have created something called as getter properties that will go into details in some other videos what are getter and setter properties. But using getter, basically what you have done is the indirect bond is something which you have converted to direct kind of bond. Now this is not similar to change detection which happens when you bonded something in the file. I can show you right now what happens, what is the difference. So I click on this thing, and whenever I click on any button the change detection is called. But if you have a bigger application and you have a lot of changes which is happening on mouse movement or keyboard press, this getter properties will be called again and again in that case. So any kind of change detection anywhere will trigger the return value of this guy. It is not that much performant again, because every change detection would force your code to run whatever you have written inside return. So in that case you should always consider using on push with immutability, and that's why immutability is important.
So as you saw in our code, we were able to show that how immutability works, what kind of change detection strategies are there, and what is obviously change detection and how we can work with that. I will create another video on that change detection specifically, because there is so much to go on. This video is a part of performance series which you can see right now on the screen on the top card. Go ahead, in that video you will be able to see other videos which I have made related to performance improvement. It's a lot, you can go into description and find those links too. Also please follow me on my social media networks so that I can connect with you, and feel free to ask question here in YouTube or in any of the social media platforms, and I am here to help you. Please consider liking this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribing to the channel for more contents like this. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.